wrestling.
Hey, that's how we start this episode, like for the count, like 3 count, and then like one of us has to talk at like 2.9.
Hey everyone, welcome to the We Like Wrestling podcast. I'm Jared.
Just like that Will Ospreay fucking Orange Cassidy match. It was fucking amazing. There was 22.9 counts. It was fucking amazing. We're not talking about Forbidden Door.
I'm here with Justin.
Somebody only watched it. Hey, hi.
John.
Who cares? We're already talking. We're already in the show.
So this week, before we get into the topic, more announced guests for Legends of Hamburg. Doc Gallows and Colby Carino.
Festus.
Yeah.
Fester.
And
fake Kane.
Yeah.
Fake.
Man, this convention.
He's bad, but he's better than real Kane. Kane stopped when he removed the mask. I'm just going with that. When I talk about Kane,
The first time?
what do you mean?
When he lost that match to
yeah.
RVD or whatever it was,
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
to take it off.
Yeah, I'm stopping Kane there because
Burnt
I want to
face.
remember good Kane. And my favorite will always be fucking the night he debuted. He looked so amazing. So I don't want to even
So you like
think about Glenn
full
Jacobs
body
anymore.
outfit.
Yeah, I don't want to think about Glenn Jacobs anymore. So that's as far as I can remove. Once he takes that mask off, fuck him.
You don't like the voice box?
No, I just don't like. I do like the voice box thing. I just don't like Glenn Jacobs anymore as a person. And so as long as he keeps a mask on, I can disassociate. The word I'm looking for.
So this week there were a ton of wrestlers that were there to celebrate John Cena's 20 years. In the
Where's
business.
Because I only knew of 3.
No, he had a whole backstage.
The
segment.
internet.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that. I did see the walkthrough and Becky no selling in, which is fucking awesome. I loved it.
She stayed in character
She's
the whole
so
way.
good.
R-Truth.
I'm
Dolph
sorry. They have
Ziggler.
to be the power couple of wrestling right now. They are perfect. Her and Seth Rollins, they both play their characters so well.
I saw online people were bitching about like the heels were totally marking out for Cena, and we're like,
Were they all?
and you're supposed to be a heel.
like Ziggler.
Right.
Yeah, they
But-
were all like,
so-
"Oh my god, it's John Cena!" Instead of being like, "Screw him."
No. So they only the heels that he has interacted with over the years who know him. They didn't bring out like I don't know who's a fucking top heel. Who I don't even know.
Well, Theory came out and sort of
Right, but that's the whole thing.
he's working.
He's been
it,
calling him out online for a couple months now.
But
He
Seth,
is the next Cena, apparently. Yeah.
no.
Well,
he's-
according to him. But
no, he's the fucking next Seth Rollins. Okay.
I hope Theory beats Cena at
I know-
SummerSlam.
I know this. We don't know that that's happening.
No, if it does, I'm hoping. Don't let Cena go over. Let Theory go over.
Well, the only thing, we'll talk about it, but yeah. So I don't like the idea. I know this is a Cena thing, but I don't like the idea that he's better than Seth, Dean, or Roman. I actually prefer Roman. I think he's been playing everything before this tribal chief bullshit. I would have said, give me John Cena. But now, because Cena's never had this opportunity to do the heel thing. Slightly,
Yeah.
little itty bitty.
he started out heelish, didn't he?
Well, that's
Cena?
that's
Yeah.
not Super Cena. Though.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about the John Cena.
Yeah.
But I'm just confused why they put the belts on a guy who's lightening his schedule. Because now you don't really
Who? What?
Roman.
Because you don't need the belt. Belts are just props. And you know what?
Belt, hold up your pants.
No, belts are props.
But if you're Fox or USA, right, you want the champion on TV to draw people in.
Not if your ratings are still the same without him.
But isn't it more you're going
They
to
got-
order the pay-per-view
They got
because
Vince McMahon for 4 seconds.
he was on Raw again.
Oh, this week?
Yeah.
What did he do this week?
He came out and introduced Cena
Oh,
and left. Supposedly they're playing it that Mr. McMahon, the character, is on TV, not Vince McMahon, the disgraced CEO. So he's allowed to be on as a character. He's not allowed to be like an executive, which I'm sure.
do they get paid per appearance?
I don't think Vince does.
Well, if he is a character and he is no longer the CEO,
That's
he
true.
is a paid
Can he
talent.
be a worker?
Would he be getting paid per fucking appearance? Is this his way to fucking rob WWE of their money?
That's a good point.
So WWE reached out to Tony Khan.
Allegedly, we do not know
Well, it was
this.
probably
We're not
Tony
on the-
Khan's brother reached out. I'm sure.
Nick Khan.
I mean, wouldn't Vince just
You
say,
mean
hey,
the new owner of WWE in a couple weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got Bryan Danielson, Big Show, Jericho.
well, they got Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, they got
Bryan Danielson never worked for WWE.
But I didn't see Jericho on that video thing.
Jericho was on.
I didn't.
Yeah,
watch-
Jericho was on.
I didn't
Okay.
watch.
He's like
I
he
was
was
gonna
sitting
say,
on his
let's-
couch or
Let's
something.
ask the person who actually watched it.
He's the
if
only
he was
person who
on.
watches Raw.
Yeah, exactly. So Joe, he was on
Yeah, Jericho was on.
Big Show and Brian.
Yep, Big Show,
Big Show.
Brian, Jericho. Yep, and I think that's it. That was
For
I
AEW.
can't
Yeah.
remember off the top of my head.
But it was Stone Cold, Triple H,
I
Kurt
heard
Angle.
Stone Cold in the arena got the biggest pop out of every person that came on the TV, which
No.
tells you a big thing.
No,
People still fucking
Oh,
love that
Orton was
shit.
on.
no video from
Orton was on twice. Batista was on. The Rock.
Doesn't that say a
Oh, The
lot
Rock-
about
The Rock
John
was
Cena
on.
and Randy Orton that out of everybody, Orton goes on twice?
Yeah,
Was he the only one that was on twice?
yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
they're
his was like it was two different interviews with him too. Because the
There's a
second
really
time he
cool
was saying
picture
about
I
like them
saw.
being like real life friends and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
they
So there
couldn't
was a
get
cool
Nikki
picture I
Bella
just
on?
saw of them. Yeah. Of them. I think she could have though. She could have.
Yeah, I mean,
Of them. It was like Orton with his long curly hair,
Mm.
like really young Orton, really young John Cena sitting at like what looked to be like some kind of maybe some kind of like dining event. It was a pretty cool looking picture. Again, it's probably 21 years old.
nothing from Brock.
I can't break that character.
no current stars that I know of.
Did Kurt?
Because-
Kurt was though,
yeah,
right?
Kurt Angle.
Kurt did.
Kurt
Kurt
did
did
it.
it.
Yeah, he said about he
Podcast
referred to
video.
him as prototype too.
Yeah.
He said when he debuted on SmackDown as Prototype.
I mean, yeah. So the
He didn't debut on SmackDown as Prototype,
I know,
though.
I
He
know.
had a dark match on SmackDown as Prototype. He
Mm.
debuted
As
as
Cena.
Jonathan Cena.
With his orange
I
trunks.
mean, the OVW4.
Were they
wasn't it?
orange? No, they were They were powder blue. They were in North Carolina. That's when he used to do the different color per episode.
No, when he debuted, he was wearing red trunks.
Oh, okay.
that was
I thought it
the
was powder blue.
Kurt Angle's Who's Got Ruthless Aggression or whatever.
No, what makes you think you can take on Kurt Angle? He was doing his open challenge thing.
Yeah, every week.
And
then-
John came out and he said, "What makes you think you can beat me?" And he's like, "Ruthless aggression."
and he lost his first
Sucks.
match
Well,
and then never did anything.
and then it was so memorable that Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe pretty much did the same thing.
Right.
And then the other thing about that was he ran into Undertaker after, and Undertaker said like, "What's your name, kid?"
Yeah,
And
I
that kind of
remember that.
solidified him.
Yeah. Oh,
mean-
Stephanie did a tribute to Cena.
Yeah, her
Well, he
move
did
put
smack
him
that
over,
ass.
right? That's
Yeah.
him rapping about her tits
Yeah.
on a Halloween episode of SmackDown
Hmm.
was what got him over. He was rapping backstage. He was on the chopping block. He was rapping backstage, and they were like, "That shit's really funny. You want to do that on television?" So on a Halloween episode, they dressed him up like Vanilla Ice, and he rapped about her tits.
Was he the one that did the like before and after pictures? Like they showed her and then they showed her
No, that was
that
Your-
Jericho?
No, that was Jericho.
with the bottom
the
feeding
breasts,
trash bag. Yeah.
Jericho and her had some really good shit. That used to make me laugh.
the man beast, and I'll get you two.
Boy,
back.
Steph, you really grew up.
Yeah,
Yeah, but she like flat chested, then big boobed. Yeah.
yeah. That wasn't weird for Vince McMahon to book his own daughter and sexual stuff at all.
Hey, he won the book that he was the father of her baby.
I know that's so fucking weird.
And then he said, okay, how about Shane?
Yeah.
Stephanie was like, are you out of your mind?
I mean, the OVW4 are Cena, Orton, Batista, and Brock.
Yeah,
So-
I think
All
I
Hall
don't
of
like
Famers.
that only because I think it's Brock and then Orton, Batista, Cena. Because I feel like Brock was before that. Brock was like a different. I know it was only like a year or two difference, but like by the time Cena came on, Brock was like champion. So like, and yes, again, Brock shot up very fast. So, maybe you can, I don't know. In my mind, Brock, I get they all were in OVW together, but in my mind, Brock is separate. And then Batista, Orton, Cena.
Brock won the belt at WrestleMania 19, which was 2003.
And was gone by 20. 20 was his last, right?
Yeah, so 2000
with Goldberg.
2005,
yeah. Brock's first run was really fast.
A year.
So much happened.
And he did a lot. He won a Rumble. You're like,
the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Won the title multiple times.
Beat Taker. I mean, he was
the fucking bloodbath in the Hell in a Cell with Taker. Yeah.
I mean, it was 2002 to 2004 ish. So 2-3 years.
All right, this isn't a Brock Lesnar episode.
And the thing is, too, like with Brock, too, you never seen anybody like him. The guy his size that could wrestle like that.
Yeah, well, not anymore. But
I also remember we used to do this fun little. When me and my friend, we were the only two people in my neighborhood that watched wrestling. And again, at this point, I was like 11, 12, maybe 13. But we used to just like, we didn't do anything with it, but we used to like draft. I don't know why. We would just like get together and we'd play with wrestling figures and we'd draft. Or actually at this time, we were probably playing like Know Your Role SmackDown on PS1. But we would like draft our favorites and we would just like write them down. I don't know why. But he would always be like, why do you like John Cena? Why do you like Randy Orton? I was like, I don't know. They're new. They were new. And I liked that kind of shit. Lo and behold, I picked two. If I had a real draft, I picked two of the greatest of this generation. That generation. It's not this. They're done.
And when Cena debuted, I mean, his name in OVW was the Prototype. And
he introduced himself to Bruce Pritchard as, hello, I am the Prototype.
Like a robot.
He fucking introduced himself like he was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But I mean,
Terminator.
he was bodybuilding bore that. So he had.
And do you know the first thing that Bruce Pritchard told him when he met him and he said, hello, my name is Prototype? He said, get off the gas. He really thought he was on steroids. Came to when they first signed him and he came backstage to SmackDown, Vince McMahon told Bruce Pritchard, get that steroid billboard out of my locker room. And Bruce Pritchard said, here's his results. He just pissed clean. Yep.
Wow.
So
and Cena never has, as far as I know. He's just a gym rat.
Yes, he's talked about it. His dad bought him a weight set and he never looked back. He was always very self-conscious about his body. His weightlifting coach made him go to a public area. I think this was when he went to Boston College. Is that where he went?
Oh,
wherever he went to college. He made him go out into like the courtyard in like nothing and show off his body, and so that it could get his self-confidence up. And he was always self-conscious about his legs, his calves specifically, which is funny. That's what Buff Bagwell got implants, calf implants.
Well, and one Cena, didn't he train at the school like where Sting and Warrior, like the guys that were known to kind of be bodybuilders, I thought?
No,
remember when he first started?
Venice Beach. He moved to California and he would go to Venice Beach. He trained with have you ever seen the documentary Bigger, Faster, Stronger, I think is what it's called? Mike Bell and his
I know he trained with Mike Bell, but I thought the school was owned by the same guy that had trained like Sting and them. I could be wrong, but I thought
could have, because it was Venice. I mean, it's that area.
California,
that's where that's where Sting and Warrior went to work out and probably where they got seen. So it's a possibility.
Okay.
He wrestled with on the same day, apparently. He signed to wrestle with Samoa Joe. They literally started on the same day.
Wow.
Isn't that some shit?
So they were worried that Cena was on the juice, but they weren't worried about Batista.
I don't know that. I'm not saying he is. I only know the Cena stuff.
I'm just saying.
I looked up Cena stuff.
Batista looked pretty.
I researched Cena. I did not research Dave Batista.
Because this is a show about Cena, not Dave Batista.
If I researched it, I think Dave Batista is still growing his white beard in a canoe somewhere. Has nobody seen that commercial?
No.
Yeah.
What it's
for
about.
streaming.
Is that what it's for? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something with a fucking beard. I don't know. It actually looks kind of good.
But I mean, when Cena debuted, he had the look that Vince McMahon,
No, Vince didn't want him. He thought he didn't look good. He thought he looked like this guy's going to get me fucking legal trouble again. Little did he know a paralegal would do that a couple years later, 20 years later.
Now,
fuck it. He did it. Like, I'm sorry. There's no way you're going to convince me he didn't do it. Even if he comes out of this fucking clean, it's just like Michael Jackson. Something fucking happened with Vince McMahon and Michael Jackson and Benoit. But I don't know. Well, I know what? No, probably we'll never know any of those. But something happened with that paralegal and John Laurinaitis. And maybe this is why Vince doesn't like tag teams.
Thank you and good night.
Speaking of OVW, do you know who John Cena tagged with in OVW?
Was it Shelton?
No, it was not Shelton. That was Brock. You're thinking of Minnesota Wrecking Crew.
Yeah. No.
Which is also the name of.
Was it Kenny?
Kenny who?
Dykstra.
No. Fucking
Rico.
full pronouns.
Rico.
It was
Rico.
Rico, yes. Yeah. Fucking weird, right? But
What
that was his first odd pairing. Do you know who John Cena has held 4 tag team titles with? There are 4 different partners. He's been champion 4 times with 4 different partners. Do you know who they are?
Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
Was one.
No, you were right. Go ahead. Finish
Big
it.
Show?
No, I thought you were going to say Batista. Okay, yeah. The other 2, I don't think you're going to get. So go for it.
The other 2.
Those are the 2 easy ones.
Was one Rey Mysterio?
No, that's too obvious. 2 big baby faces. They are not that obvious. Trust me.
Orton?
Nope.
Damn. I'm trying to think.
One is Arrival. The other, I don't know how it happened. I don't remember this at all. Arrival from a WrestleMania.
Was it Edge?
Well, that's also Sean, but no. He didn't wrestle Edge at WrestleMania, did he?
Yeah.
At Mania?
I thought he did.
No, I don't think so.
Is it Punk?
Nope. Your Punk is closer than Edge, in my opinion. I don't know.
Cena. So Michaels was like 05, 06?
Something like that.
Hogan was one, right? No?
He wrestled Hogan at Mania?
No. I'm just trying to.
Hogan and Edge you're thinking of.
Damn it.
Was Hogan ever tag champion once with Edge? Because technically him and Brutus didn't win it at 9. John, do not look up who it is.
He's over there cheating. We're over here trying to think.
I've been on this page because I'm trying to get information, but go ahead. I won't guess.
Oh, see, I did that before the podcast. It's called research.
What era?
Ask Jeff Jarrett about it. What era? 2010.
2010.
Right?
That was Nexus era.
It is now. Oh, now you're getting close to a different one. You're right there. If what's that game?
Wade Barrett.
Close. Very. I don't want to say very close, but close. In the Nexus is one of them. The other one, you guys haven't even hit close because that's not even the one that I thought you were getting close to with Edge and Punk.
So since you already said it, he was a 2-time World Tag Team Champion
and 2-time WWE.
One with Batista, one with Shawn.
Yes,
and then he's a 2-time WWE Tag Team Champion.
I don't really split them. They're just tag champions. I don't give a fuck about that.
With 2 different guys.
Yep.
Nexus 2010.
Was it David Otunga? Even?
It was David Otunga. You're still missing one though. You're still missing.
That was when he had to join the Nexus because he lost.
Yeah,
I remember that, and he was Juan Cena.
In here.
He was Juan Cena. I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Because I can't. I just hear like
That's
me
weird.
talking, but I can't hear.
That's weird. But yeah.
Carlito.
No, you're getting further away from Punk and Edge.
Carlito beat him his first match, first night.
Carlito's first night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He beat
Yeah,
Cena.
his debut. Carlito's debut. He beat Cena.
Yes. I didn't know that.
2010 was Otunga.
I don't know years, so it's very blurry. It's definitely not before 2010, right?
I don't know what year. I can look it up.
What Mania?
I can't tell you that because that would give it away.
So 20 was JBL. 21.
Was it The Rock?
It was not The Rock. I thought that was too. I could have sworn that they had a tag match.
Yeah, they went
Is
against
what I thought is. I remember him tagging with The Rock, and I was like, and that's when I saw this, and I was like, no, he tagged with The Rock, but it was just like a Survivor Series main event or something, right?
Is the other person a rival? You said was Miz?
Yes, he is a rival, and yes, it is the Miz.
What?
Yeah, I
When did that
don't
happen?
remember these at all.
2010, Cena no Tonga.
I remember him with Sean because it's always I know the Sean stuff because
That's the red pants.
Sean won tag titles with like how was he never technically tag champion with Marty Jannetty, the tag team that he was in that revolutionized WWE wrestling, but never a tag champion. But he had all these different tag. He had Diesel, obviously. He had Austin.
Yeah.
And they did the whole like better. What is it? Bitter enemies, better friends, or whatever. I don't fucking know.
And
they're
Good friends, better enemies.
Yeah, something like that.
Otunga and Cena beat Cody and Drew.
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
When were him and Miz tag
I
champs?
don't know.
Let's see.
2011. I was humming the song. By the way.
2011.
They won it on a Raw.
Well, of course they did.
Would they
But
lose next week?
Speaking of
The same as
WrestleMania and guys that became future rivals of Cena, Punk made his debut as a gangster.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. I got a whole thing here about
For his entrance.
rivals and shit.
They
But yes, no, you're right. CM Punk's first
WrestleMania 21
WWE
championship
appearance was in the fucking Tommy Gun thing.
inside of the car. They Cena and the Miz beat Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel, and then lost it back to him the
Was
same
that the
night.
core?
The core,
The
yeah.
core. God damn, the fucking core. Just when I thought Nexus was gonna get good, it fucking turned into the core.
I liked the core except for Ezekiel Jackson.
You mean last ECW champion Ezekiel Jackson?
I really don't remember him and Miz being tag champs.
I don't either. So
Well, they had it and lost it the same night. So
I'm sure you guys have seen this on the internet, but what's the one title that John Cena qualifies for that he's never held?
Universal.
What's that again?
Okay, technically you're right, but I don't think they really acknowledge the
Intercontinental.
Universal. Yes, Intercontinental. I don't think they really acknowledge that as a because he didn't wrestle during the Universal title, so I guess that's why he never held IC.
Was he never a Triple Crown or a Grand
Slam. He is not a Grand Slam champion.
That's insane.
So let's talk about the future of John Cena. He did say, Joe, do you want to say what he said? I don't know verbatim what he said. You watched it, so
I might have missed it because I might have been going to pick her up.
Oh,
Because I know he did do an in-ring interview thingy, and I missed it.
okay. So what I gathered was he said something like, "I will be back. You have not seen the last of me, but I don't know when."
yeah, I can't tell you when or where, but
Okay.
I'll be back.
Yeah. So
He said
That leaves it open for his SummerSlam.
so is AJ Styles or whatever the fuck he is,
Yeah.
43 or whatever.
I mean, Money in the Bank is right around the corner. Actually, this weekend, isn't it?
Saturday.
Is it? It's Saturday. Wow.
And they still have one
The second.
spot open.
That's gonna go Friday on SmackDown.
Oh, is it? I was gonna say maybe it'll be Cena. Oh.
Who says it isn't? So
I mean, technically, it doesn't belong to any brand.
They should have a wild card. What's it called? What's the battle royal that AEW does?
Casino. A
Yeah.
Joker.
Casino Joker battle royal for the fucking. Who cares now, right? The real Forbidden Door is happening.
Speaking of Forbidden Door, real quick, fucking Claudio Cesaro.
Yeah, what about him?
Yeah, that's pretty cool to see him.
We all kind of knew that was happening.
Uh,
The moment if they didn't say this person was going to join the Blackpool Combat Club,
Joe shirt.
yeah, I probably would have said, "Oh yeah, it could be Gargano." Like that'd be a really good match, Gargano and Saber. But he doesn't fit with that.
so where do you think this is going to go with him and Eddie?
And had Ciampa left, I would have said Ciampa because he would fit in
Yeah,
that.
that would have been good too. Yeah, that would have been a better fit. But yeah, Gargano would not fit that type of style. I still don't think Wheeler Yuta does, but I mean, I get that they're trying to build him as this. Here's a bunch of badasses because that's how I view it, right? It's like
Yeah.
guys who can wrestle but are also fucking tough.
And speaking of that, so I seen earlier that we had shared about like Moxley may be concussed. So who do we think is going to replace him for tonight?
I don't know.
God.
Oh, that's right. The thing, the match, the cage, the blood and
Blood
guts.
and Guts is tonight.
I guess we'll see.
That match is supposed to happen at 9:30.
Maybe
So,
Regal.
Maybe it'll
we
be
got
Claudio.
time.
Maybe it's Johnny
No,
Guts.
Claudio is in the match.
Oh,
Yeah, Claudio.
Johnny Guts, nice.
Brian's place.
Yeah, Johnny Guts, Johnny Nitro,
Or
Morrison.
Johnny Blood.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be Wheeler Yuta.
So,
why not?
I think he's
We
in there
talk-
as well.
Oh, is he in it? Oh, okay.
No, Yuta's not in it. It was supposed to be Brian and Mox, LAX, and Eddie, but
okay.
because Brian's out, that's what Claudio's taking over. They should have just put Yuta in there, right? Like
Yeah.
give the fucking kid. Could you imagine Yuta and fucking Sammy Guevara doing some badass shit on top of the cage?
And we know Yuta can blade.
Oh my god, dude! Fucking Yuta would definitely take the Spanish Fly off the fucking cage. Spanish Fly off the cage because Sammy Guevara does Spanish
Mhm.
Fly, right?
Mhm.
Fucking
Yeah.
Spanish Fly off the cage through a fucking the. Remember last year
The
when
cardboard
Jericho?
ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do it a little better.
Oh, through the concrete.
Yeah.
Concrete
Through the
bags.
Just
metal.
don't fucking talk. Just shut the fuck up.
And don't show it,
don't say no. You can show it.
but not
just
from that
don't-
angle.
So actually, off subject, but kind of on subject. I was just reading. I was watching a video of someone reading Terry Funk's book, and he brought up that he did not like getting put into the dumpster when he was Chainsaw Charlie. One, did you know Chainsaw Charlie was last minute his idea?
Yeah, it wasn't dedicated to a friend who died or something.
Oh, that I don't. He didn't say that in the book.
Is he
part.
related to Chainsaw Tony?
No. So he, what the fuck is Chainsaw Tony? Oh, that's the Leatherface guy. Okay. So the reason he didn't like it is because they had styrofoam peanuts in it and they popped up when Cactus hit. I didn't even notice it.
I mean,
like, who cares?
As a kid, I thought that
It's
was
still
just trash.
fucking cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just thought it was
it's just trash.
Yeah.
So same thing. Just shut the fuck up. Don't say it's a concrete stage. Just shut the fuck up and let it happen. And people will just be like, "Oh, that's really cool." But once you say concrete stage, and I see him hit boxes,
Like,
now you've killed it.
like
You
solid,
just ruined it. Yep.
Yeah,
Like the
solid steel
exploding
steps
ring.
that are hollow.
yeah.
Exploding ring.
Yeah, well, oh, that is not good. Don't like that. So
Now,
where-
do you?
future of John Cena? Can we get back on to John Cena?
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Let's
You
go.
said earlier that he's not a
He's-
Grand Slam champion. Do
Not
you
Grand
think he
Slam,
comes
doesn't
back
have
and
the IC belt?
tries to win the IC belt just to finish
Would you
out?
want to see Gunther and I fucking hate calling him that.
Me too.
And Cena.
Walter. All right, I'll say Walter.
Look,
Yeah.
I try to stick with the fucking names. I call him
He's Walter.
Malachi now, Malachi, although I still slip up and say Alistair. Miro, I still say Rusev,
hmm
but I'm trying. Yes.
I still
Gunther.
say Daniel Bryan.
I say Brian Danielson.
I just say Brian.
I just say Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, I knew him. I watched him as
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan.
But
or
for some
Bryan
reason,
Danielson.
I can call him John Moxley with no problem. I don't call him Dean Ambrose.
I also watched him as John Moxley, so
But,
it's easy for me.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, would you rather see him come back and wrestle Gunther, or would you rather see him come back and wrestle Theory? Because he has had the U.S. title, so it doesn't really matter about that. The match would be good. Both matches would be good. Let's just put that out there.
Big
But-
match, John.
But wouldn't Gunther be a really good opponent for Super Cena? I'd hate to see him lose. I'd love to see him fucking lose. I'd hate to see Gunther lose the IC belt. I love for John Cena. Like, oh, he's definitely. Everybody would think, oh, he's facing Gunther. He's definitely gonna win, right?
Yeah, the one
And then
belt
he
he's never
fucking-
had.
And then he fucking loses. That puts Gunther over huge. And you
Yeah.
know what that does? Fucking turns him face and has him challenge Roman Reigns.
Or
After-
the other thing you could do in that scenario too is have a three-way. Gunther loses the belt, but he doesn't get pinned, and he can take it back off of Cena in a one-on-one.
Ooh, you could have a unification for the Intercontinental and US title, and John Cena wins them both. Austin Theory, John Cena, and Gunther? Not a bad pairing.
And then
Yeah.
Cena shows up in AEW and takes over for Moxley because he's got a concussion. Taking all the belts. He's the belt collector.
Oh,
FTR is on their way.
I want to give a good shout out. I know we talked about earlier that belts are just a prop, but for FTR, being acknowledged as now
Yes.
champions in America, Mexico, and Japan. It is pretty fucking cool.
Well deserved because they are probably the best tag team out there.
Yes, I'm very happy for them to have. It's not the way I thought it was going to come out. I really thought Roppongi Vice was going to win
I
that.
picked them too. That's.
I thought, okay,
I don't know how I won that scorecard.
Oh, we're not even going to fucking talk about that. I'm pretty sure you fucking hacked it or something. I'm
Did you
watching.
put your picks in last minute?
I'm
I didn't pay
watching Joe.
attention. I didn't pay attention at all.
I'm watching Joe and I. We're like neck and neck. We keep crossing each other. And then I'm thinking, okay, he's got Moxley. I've got Tanahashi. However it goes is going to decide the winner. Fucking Moxley wins. I think he won. I go to look, and Jared's at the top of the list. Where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
I
I honestly didn't watch the thing, the scorecard the whole
Me
night because
neither.
I was like, whatever.
was
But I
busy.
was telling John the next day at work, I said, the one thing I don't like about that scorecard is like that, like, the picking the number of chops and stuff, because I'm like, I'm never sure how many to pick because like
It's
you don't
always-
want to go too high, but you don't want to go too low either.
I think I got one thing like almost right because it gives you a plus or minus of like 1 or 2 or whatever.
Right? Yeah.
It was like the super kicks or maybe
Yeah.
aerial,
Like,
like 14 and it was 13. So I got points for it. I was like, wow, that's like dead on.
Yeah, I think I picked 11 or 12, and it was like 15. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, come on.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
I was like, come on.
Whatever it was, I was like one. I got the +1, so that was cool.
yeah. And I went through the scorecard later, and there was like 1 or 2 of the matches that like I didn't really get any points at all for. I was like,
I think that's probably when I jumped ahead of you. So me and you from the get-go, you really took a lead like the first 2 or 3 matches. And then I started probably whenever you got 0, I probably jumped ahead, or maybe not ahead, but I was right there. And then like every match, you and me just kept flip-flopping. And it was always like 1 or 2 points, maybe 5 points. And then I thought, okay, it's going to come down to the last match. I think I was up by like 6 points, but again, you had Moxley, I had Tanahashi. So when Moxley won, I was like, all right, well, Joe won it, and I couldn't believe it. I really, I wish I would have, like, I wish you guys could have seen my reaction because it really was. What the fuck happened?
Well, I didn't look at all, and when you said where the fuck did Jared come from, I'm like, huh?
You guys are all pretty close, though.
It was.
yeah. I think you probably
Me-
because you got like some of that bonus stuff, like for chops or whatever it was.
Yeah, I got my ass
No,
kicked.
yeah, you were nowhere close.
That
But
was
yeah,
way.
I think Jared won with 90. I had 88. Joe had 87. So even though Moxley won, you still get like certain things right, like the pin.
The
Or-
blood.
Although I picked no to blood because I thought
I picked yes.
why would
'Cause-
Tanahashi's not going to use
I
weapons?
picked no. It didn't seem to make sense. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Mox.
Yeah. Well, he bladed off of a fucking sling blade.
And the one match that hurt me too was that the Atlantic Championship match, because I really thought Miro was going to win that because the way they were pushing it, and then when Pac won, I'm like,
I had Miro.
really?
I picked Malachi.
I had Miro.
I
too,
No
think
one
so-
picked Pac, I think.
I don't know. I either
See-
picked Pac or Miro, but I think I picked Miro.
I told John the next day, I said I picked Miro, and I picked Miro to go over that Clark, whatever his name.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I knew
That's
that
what I
is.
did.
I
That's
thought,
exactly what I
like,
did.
Malachi and Pac would get into it on the outside, and he would take advantage of that, Miro, and
Yeah.
nope.
I think we had the same thing for that.
But I still don't know who Clark Connors is.
No, he was a guy who showed up sometimes in that match.
Oh.
It was weird. It was
They
really
needed
weird.
a guy like, okay, you
I
look
thought
like
they
a
just
wrestler.
made
Come
him
on.
up, yeah, like you in the back. What do you get in the ring?
No, he was in the semifinal. He's who Ishii beat to win into the match, but then Ishii got hurt, I guess, in that match. So that's how Connor got in.
Yeah, because he was the one he had wrestled, but because he got hurt,
Yeah, went to the next guy,
Hmm.
yeah.
pretty much. So yeah, he's a real, he's not just a guy. I could think of other guys who would have made a better fit. They probably weren't there. Although, Juice was there. Juice would have been good.
It was a weird card. Like no Wardlow.
Who would you want Wardlow to
No,
face?
I mean,
I was a good.
since you're building him as like your big monster face, I guess.
I'm a huge Orange Cassidy fan, and I said to you guys that this match was amazing,
Yeah, I think that match exceeded
and
a
it
lot of
really
people's
was. It was
expectations.
not my biased opinion. It was. It really is. I mean, I think it's going to go down as a great AEW match. It was fucking good, man. It was.
I
Really
mean,
good.
everybody in the back was.
You know who I'd love to see Orange Cassidy work with? John Cena. Because John Cena has been in the WWE for 20 years and we keep getting off track.
I mean, if John Cena can work a Firefly Funhouse, then he can work OC.
John Cena didn't work.
Well, can you just imagine that in-ring interaction?
Oh,
Cena
the
does the "You Can't See Me."
Yeah.
Orange does the hands in the pocket.
Him and Bray.
That wasn't a Firefly. The Firefly wasn't the Firefly.
No, it was a fire. Remember, because he was NWO Cena, and then he was.
Oh well, what was the one that Orton burned down?
That was the Wyatt family bunkhouse. Whatever.
Oh,
Wasn't that an asylum or something? Man?
Yeah, it's the same shit.
Oh, I thought it was okay. I thought that was the Firefly.
So
Maybe.
Cena debuted in 1999 at Ultimate Pro Wrestling.
Get off of Wikipedia.
Hey,
Because I was reading that earlier.
Wow, what the hell?
No, yeah, I don't know what UVW is.
so as much
UPW?
as we all kind of hate John Cena, do you get the feeling now that like because they did the thing where he's away and now coming back, you kind of like him?
It's The Rock.
No, I fucking despise The Rock.
When he came back, was it last year, 2 years ago?
despise The Rock.
And to challenge Roman, was it the end of Mania or something?
Yeah.
I popped. I was like, holy shit,
Yeah.
Cena.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
It
And
really is
I-
that he got to be too fucking much.
And you know what? I think the fans looking back have gone, you know what? You got to respect what he did.
You cannot say he didn't put people over.
He
Kevin Owens is the first
Well,
one.
I was just going to say that you got to think about like when he came back and won the U.S. belt and he did that U.S. Open Challenge. How many guys did he give a shot?
Rusev, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
Cesaro.
Did Tyson Kidd get a shot in there?
Did he?
I feel like he did.
Maybe.
I just
Uh,
don't like the whole thing with him and The Rock was The Rock went away and now he's back and part time and whatever. Cena's doing the same thing.
Even before that, what was Edge's character before he feuded with Cena?
The ultimate opportunist.
Before the cash in.
Yeah, before all that, because he cashed in on Cena.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's when he became ultimate opportunist.
Right. But
Yeah.
what was Edge before that? Pretty much nothing.
No, him and Christian had split up.
Right. They split up and they were both doing nothing.
Him and Hogan.
Edge just Edge just happened to get the shot to work with Cena. And Cena made him look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
would
like
that-
Cena's in-ring ability.
The night that Bryan won the belt at SummerSlam
Thanks.
and they did the turn, the Triple H was the ref, right? And then they pedigreed him.
Yeah.
Would that have mattered as much if it wasn't against John Cena? Do you remember the Raw where Cena's going to pick his opponent or whatever and everyone is chanting for Bryan and Bryan's got this huge like smile on his face like, you fucking guys, you're fucking killing me. People liked Bryan.
Yeah.
Would it have worked if it was Bryan versus Orton? Probably not. But Bryan versus Cena was like, holy shit, this is our wrestling fans match versus the sports entertainment fans match. I don't mean to use the fucking Jericho thing, but like it's a real thing. It's wrestling fans versus sports entertainment. I'm both. I like both. If it's
No, you're not wrong.
yeah.
if
And
you're my
Well,
son,
I think the one big
you were a
thing
sports
too
entertainer.
with Cena, much like Roman, but it finally happened, is people got sick of it. Like it was stale,
Yeah.
like with Hulk Hogan back in the day. You know, like
Yeah.
the red and yellow, like it got boring. It's like it's the same damn thing with Cena. You know, much like Hogan gets beat up.
Yeah.
Five moves of doom, and Orton lost. Like
That's
been
what's-
there, done that. Like like
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't think that could save anything right now, to be honest.
But remember, Cena's the one who lobbied to get Bryan back
Yeah.
after he was fired.
Right. Honestly, you said about Charlotte, like there's few people that could go away right now. And if they come back in 2 years, I would still be okay with it. I'm done with Orton. I don't think there's anything Orton can do anymore.
well. And Cena has done a lot of stuff that like people don't know about. Like I just recently saw a story. It's the one of the WrestleManias.
Oh,
Brodus
the
Clay
Brodus
wasn't
Clay one.
Going to
Yeah.
be on.
He went to take a shit.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you got like 6 minutes, kid.
Hey Vince, I got a shit. You gotta give this guy. You gotta put him out there. So fucking go do your thing.
And like so he gets a lot of bad thing about burying guys, but like,
And he's the
300. He was the first person to ever reach 300 grant a wishes.
You're saying he's the most make a wish.
He's the most sought after.
So my notes that I prepared for.
Yeah,
he's the most sought after.
Nobody
I don't like
I got
Cena's in-ring ability, but I can't deny the type of person that he is. I think if he turned heel,
But
I would feel differently.
Okay, yeah, you don't like Cena, but like 5 Moons of Doom until he brought that 6th move out and started doing that springboard stunner. You fucking popped. I know you did, right? Everybody fucking holy shit.
He had another move.
Stunner? What the fuck?
I mean, but nowadays everybody has like the same 5 moves. Roman has the same.
I don't like that 5 Moons of Doom shit. It's so does Undertaker, and he's going to go down as one of the greatest.
So does Ric Flair. My favorite Bret Hart. They all have their
5 Moves of Dooms is him taking a fucking face bump,
flipping over the turnbuckle.
Yeah, right. 2 of those moves are fucking bumps. Shawn
And
doesn't
waving
do
his dick.
much. Yeah. Shawn doesn't do much. He does a fucking elbow. He does the side slam. He does the fucking super kick.
Right.
He does the fucking.
And the one thing I saw, like, I mean, because people have said, but Brett said, like, the reason why a lot of us have like a set thing is because then we know we can be safe. It's like, an automatic, I'm not going to hurt this guy if I go for a power driver because I know how to deliver that and he'll be safe.
Also, it's what you want to see.
Exactly.
When you go see Rush and they play fucking Black Dog by Led Zeppelin, you're like, what the fuck are they doing?
They didn't do any of their hits.
Don't play that person's song. Play your shit. I watch your shit. I want to listen to your shit. You don't want to see your favorites doing other people's shit. Although it kind of probably be cool. Especially if they sang what I thought they sang.
I said the same thing. If you went and saw, like, I took my son to see a house show for Cena was the main attraction, and he didn't do any of those 5 moves of doom, and he went with like a clothesline or something. Wouldn't we all be going, what the hell was
if he
that?
did a shooting star press, I'd probably
yeah. But I mean, look at it from his point of view, he'd be like, hey, I wanted to see the knuckle shuffle.
It's what pops the crowd.
And
well, not only that pops the crowd, but
Punk do?
Like, that's not really Cena's fault.
Walk his dog.
Yeah.
I mean,
what does CM Punk do?
Maybe WWE said to him, like, this is the style. This is what we're here for. You need to get a 5-minute match in between commercials, hit the highlights, and let's go home.
Brian to this day in AEW still does the yes kicks and fucking, which, by the way, Zack Sabre was trying to get the crowd to do the yes chants while doing them to Cesaro because, like, it was supposed to be Brian. He was trying to heal out, and they just fucking no-sold it. I was very displeased with that. I was like, do you not get what he's doing? Because he did it slow, and he was like, he'd like kick, and then he'd go, kick, and it's like, you guys aren't even fucking booing or doing anything or saying no. Like, fuck, do
like
something.
They didn't catch on, or they didn't care.
They really didn't give a fuck about that Zack Sabre match. It's like Cesaro came out, and they were like, spin him. Just spin him. That's all we want to see. Just fucking
and the
go in circles.
And the uppercut.
I
Yeah.
don't even think they care about that.
Somebody said what they should do is end a Dynamite with Cesaro spinning somebody in the ring and start Rampage.
That's fucking funny.
That's
really funny, actually. I would love that.
Everyone makes fun of Cena, but what does Roman do? It's a Superman punch. It's the spear.
Yeah.
Samoan drop.
We just said everybody has their things that they do, and it pops the crowd. But then the flip side to that too is, if you're not a fan of that person, what pops you is when like their move gets interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
Cena goes for the AA, and Brock falls off his back and Germans him, and we pop.
Let's not forget that the AA was originally the FU, and it was
I know,
direct insult to Brock Lesnar's F5.
Like Joe said earlier, what helps Roman now is that he finally got a heel turn. If Cena had a heel turn, I'm sure we would all enjoy that more, even though he does the
turn
same
heel
moves.
once. Do you remember he was in the ring and he said he turned his heel? I remember that promo because
Roman does the same moves now that he did before. It's just he's a heel, so it's a different version, like different persona that he gets into.
He has a little more edge to his character now.
Yeah.
Edge. So I have John Cena's 16 best opponents. You want to do a little tourney?
Is that Mania?
No, not Mania.
He wasn't even at
Just-
16 Manias.
Yeah, anyway.
It was
I don't think so.
20 to 36. He missed.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Damn.
I'm down.
All right, so I already randomized it when I did it. So I wrote the list. I took a lot of this from What Culture, from Bleacher Report, and from the DVD. I believe there's actually a DVD of Cena's Greatest Rivals. So I picked it. It's because they were fucking they added some weird shit. Yeah, Punk was not on the WWE one. Come on, it's.
Oh, because he was not on good terms at that time.
Right, exactly. So first match is pretty big one. Triple H and Rollins. Remember that Rollins broke his fucking nose. That shit?
He said it to him.
He mentioned that.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
And backstage, yeah, he's like, "Do you remember when I put my knee into your face and crushed your nose?"
Zigzag is
And the best
crazy.
part is, while Rollins is cutting his promo, you just see Cena go, like, still kind of hurts a little. Like,
So Triple H and Seth Rollins. Which I hate to get either one of those out early. Triple H wasn't a great rival for Cena. I don't know why he's on. I mean, I know why he's on the list.
they didn't have like a long drawn out feud. It just was like Rumble to Mania. Then it was done.
But I don't think him and Seth really did either, did they?
Well, Cena was the main catalyst for the Authority, which technically is Hunter, but he mainly wrestled Rollins when part of it and Kane.
But Cena and Hunter were WrestleMania 22, 23.
That's just
He tapped Hunter out.
That's just to boost Hunter's ego. Oh, I wrestled John Cena.
That's
Like when he wrestled Sting. It could have been anybody.
Yeah.
That's a Blade Trinity era.
But
Don't even fuck.
I would say Seth Rollins.
Trinity?
Yeah, Hunter was.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he was in the second one.
No.
That's the Motorhead mustache.
God,
He made a
I remember
vampire
fucking-
Pomeranian.
I remember that.
Ryan Reynolds was in it. That's the best part.
I'm
He
gonna
was,
say
yeah.
Triple H just because I feel like they had a
I say
longer
Rollins.
rivalry.
I like Rollins, and I liked that.
Yeah,
feud, so.
I say Rollins.
I said Rollins.
Yeah. Okay. Let's.
I feel like Hunter had a longer rivalry. I don't know.
This is sort of the same era. No, it's not actually. But very similar styles. Whereas Hunter and Seth Rollins were kind of the same. RVD and Punk.
But him and RVD wasn't a rivalry. They were
I
both
think it
for
was.
faces.
Yeah, but it was a rivalry.
I would just like
Well, it's not okay. Hold on. That was you're going off rival. I said greatest opponents.
okay. That's
yeah.
okay.
I used the Cena's rivalries as a reference.
Okay, because him and
But what they
RVD was
call rivalries are not rivalries.
yeah, that was like a one-off match. It wasn't like a long
I'd
drawn
have
out.
to say Punk.
I would
It's
definitely
so-
have to say
I don't-
Punk in that
No, man, that
scenario.
RVD thing was fucking good. It was.
I mean, the ECW
it was-
thing and
it was.
If Cena
it was
wins, we riot.
It was John Cena and Bryan before John Cena and Bryan. It was. This is the wrestlers, like the wrestling fans guide. This is the hardcore fan, no pun intended, with ECW versus the sports entertainer. And I'm sorry, I fucking loved Cena's entrance. Belt up, head down, boxer entrance, and just give it to me. I'm still here to defend. No matter what you say, I'm still here to
throwing
defend my
shit at
belt.
him.
Yeah,
Throws
there
a
was that-
shirt into the crowd, they throw it back.
Although, I mean,
and then
I
Cena
guess
wins, we riot.
Punk is kind of the same fucking thing. Again, wrestling fan versus sports entertainment.
Punk and
RVD
Cena, it was that somewhere. of Punk
RVD
thing
was
and-
already
Let's not-
over. He didn't need the belt.
But he was the hottest thing in the invasion. Like he got over as a heel.
Booker T.
But RVD was huge. RVD was Brian. Like everyone wanted
RVD was
him.
already there, wasn't he?
Yeah, but
Booker T's the one who came in from the invasion.
yeah, but RVD like
I feel like
Well, that was still
if
like
RVD
3 years prior.
if that would have happened
invasion.
at SummerSlam and not ECW.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
him and Cena was like 05 or 06.
Who?
RVD.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the first
so that
one
was-
night
Oh yeah,
stand.
you're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, this isn't invasion era. That Cena's not there. 2001.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah,
Oh.
no. RVD was.
He won
there
Money in
for
the
a very
Bank and
long-
said, "I want to challenge you at one night
Yeah,
stand."
I'm calling my shot. Yes,
Yeah, both faces.
but if
But after that,
that
it went
had
nowhere.
not been ECW One Night Stand, it had been
Backlash
No Mercy,
or whatever.
yeah.
Nobody would have cared. as
would
much.
it
Yeah.
matter as much? That's what I'm going to say.
And Cena
'Cause
wins.
Cena was
Cena would have been super over had it not been One Night Stand.
so. Cena and Punk happened at Money in the Bank, right? They also didn't
Yes.
happen
They-
at a big
Now,
show.
for me, I go with Punk because not only could Punk match him in the ring, but he
I almost
matched him on the
talked
mic
myself
as
into
well.
now voting for Punk because I made a point and I realized that the only reason RVD was big as an opponent was because it was ECW One Night Stand.
Yeah. After that, it didn't really go.
So
anywhere
I'm
'cause he
actually
got
going to go.
arrested.
I'm actually voting Punk now.
That's because he
he got arrested.
got pulled over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he remember he got the
Well-
ECW belt the next night. Heyman handed it
But I
to
mean,
him.
Yeah.
that Punk and Cena thing was the pipe bomb.
And then Big Show.
Cena
God.
was laying in the ring while
And that
Punk
was-
dropped the pipe bomb.
Did that where Punk came back and he's like, "I'm gone for a couple of months. I come back and Cena's the champ again." Like something like
Yeah.
And
nothing-
that's when the night that Punk did the pipe bomb that like Jared just said that Cena was laid out in the ring and he laid there that whole time
Yeah.
while he cut that promo.
and was that was the match where Punk left with the belt. His last night of his
Money in the
contract.
Bank, yeah.
Everyone
That
thought
was
he
that Money in the Bank, yeah.
Yeah, took a picture of the belt in the
Mhm.
fridge. Like, do you know where your belt is? And
Mhm.
But like I said, that's why I gave for that matchup. I gave it the edge to Punk because
Yeah.
he matched him in the ring and on the mic.
I'll take
So
Punk.
Yeah, I think we all talked. So it was originally 50-50 split. I think we actually talked this into Punk,
Yeah,
which is weird. You're not going to talk me out of this one. HBK and Rusev.
Sean.
They're both mean.
HBK and who?
they were.
Rusev,
Rusev.
Miro.
Oh
whatever.
yeah, definitely HBK.
Sean.
I mean, they're
But Sean was a WWE title
Him
match.
and Sean had a
and
60-minute Iron Man match on
They-
Raw.
also, though, Rusev was an elevation match.
Yeah.
I think it did a lot for Rusev at that time to wrestle Cena at Mania.
Yeah, it came out with the tank.
Yeah, that was cool.
Rusev was like punching above his weight, as they would say.
Yeah.
Rusev was a mid-card guy trying to move up. Sean was already a main eventer.
But I gotta be honest,
The
I don't
main
know,
eventer.
I don't know what started
The
the
icon.
Sean and Cena thing.
So we're all saying HBK.
Yeah.
I don't know what started that though.
Didn't Sean get eliminated by Cena at a Royal Rumble?
Was that his
No,
thing?
that
'Cause
was
that
Kurt
happened with
Angle.
Taker too. And
Oh, it
Kurt, I
was
guess.
Kurt Angle.
Kurt
That was
Angle.
Kurt Angle.
That started that feud.
And Taker. Or no, that was Batista, I guess.
Speaking of, this is JBL versus Baptista.
JBL.
That's how Santino used to say it.
I would have to agree with Jared. JBL.
JBL was so fucking good.
How big is Batista's dick?
As big as JBL's ego.
His,
That's a good fucking line. That was
his,
also
his bullying.
that was off the top of my head.
I was
That
going to say Batista, but I guess I'm on an
it
island.
doesn't
I don't
matter.
know.
You
Yeah.
can say it.
The feud with JBL was
I
that was,
For the U.S., that was Cena's first win.
well, no,
was
that was the
Cena's-
WWE title.
It was Cena's no
Who did he beat for the U.S.? That was his first
That was
title.
Big
Big
Show.
Show.
He
Oh.
beat Big Show.
Actually, is not on this.
As I'm looking right at it right here.
No,
For his first WWE title, I think he beat
JBL.
JBL.
WrestleMania 21.
That's the
But then-
SmackDown version.
But then
of
that
it.
led to that was after the whole Thugonomics, right after the Thugonomics thing, and then that led to the Last Man Standing match at Judgment Day and whatever.
Yeah.
Where
See, this is
They-
Jared's
they-
era.
Where Cena bled.
This is where he
Cena
shines.
bled fucking
And
crazy.
he drove him through the top of that limousine and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I at least make fun of Cena's 5 moves of doom. JBL would wish he had 5. He has
And-
the clothesline and the boot.
And that clothesline he stole from
Hey.
Yeah.
He
Follow
was champ for 10 months, though. You can't take that away from him.
Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays.
Well,
Hey, I'll take it.
We got Miz, who we talked about earlier, who we was tag champ with, but also feuded with.
And Sean.
Yes. Versus Brock Lesnar.
I remember that match when
I remember
Didn't
when he
Brock
broke his
beat
arm.
him? and Cena didn't get one move in. Like Brock just suplexed
Yeah.
him like 17 times and then pinned
He
him.
broke his arm on top of a steps.
The only
For some
thing
reason.
I
It was
remember,
like Extreme
yeah,
Rules.
yeah. The only thing I remember is like a super show. Cena was in the ring, Brock came back, and then he F5'd him, and then that's what started that whole thing.
That was a Raw. I think it was Raw after like
Yeah.
Mania or something.
yeah. But other than that, I don't really remember
But
much.
And I remember not knowing anything about that. Like Brock showed up, and I was like, "Oh my fuck!" Remember when that was the
before
shit?
the internet?
AJ, Brock showing up, even Good Bros. I was on my honeymoon when Gallows and Anderson showed up on Raw, and I
Make
was
sure you tell him that story in Hamburg. Tell
like,
Gallows.
my ex-wife, because when I was on my honeymoon, what was I doing? Watching you guys debut on Raw.
And she's not around anymore, and you still are. So
yeah, there you go. Well, she's not dead.
I didn't mean it like that.
I'm gonna go. Who's the other guy? Miz.
We talked about
I'm
this a
gonna
little
go
bit
with
earlier,
Miz.
but during Brock's first run, his rookie year, him and Cena didn't cross paths at all, did they?
Probably house show like, but I don't think.
I think
on
when
main.
Cena was coming,
Yeah, exactly. Brock was
was
already
gone.
champion. Brock was already. Oh, you mean
like the first run.
No,
when
because like Brock was
there.
champion when he was U.S. champion, so who cares?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
by the time Cena got elevated, Brock
We
was
didn't talk about
done.
that fucking belt. Fuck John Cena.
AEW starting.
Belt spin.
You didn't like that belt?
No,
I thought it was
because
cool as a kid.
spinner shit was cool in 2002. By the time John Cena made it, it was already dumb.
I mean, like wearing jorts.
That I don't know. I think jorts were still like they were never cool.
Is that what Theory said? You're 45-year-old man still wearing jorts.
Yeah, jorts were never cool.
Orange
But-
Cassidy's kicking off AEW.
With against oh fuck, who's he wrestling? Oh, Ethan Page. Yeah. So are we saying Brock or Miz? I actually think Miz. I
I'm
like
going
that
Miz.
feud.
Yeah, I'm
And
going
it
Miz.
also
I think Miz too. Yeah.
It's not just the WrestleMania one. It's then when they did the John Cena Nikki skits. I thought that was fucking
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
That was
Oh,
really
with
good.
Maurice, yeah.
Yeah. I thought
Then-
that was really good.
And the
Mariz,
Miz,
that's
Mariz.
good. Why isn't that a thing?
Yeah, it should be.
Mariz, that's
And
good. I like
that was the Miz is the first. Was he the first world champ to leave as champion of Mania?
Yeah. I
He,
think so.
he defended it
He's the first world champ to leave as champion.
First WWE champ.
Oh, I was gonna say
because they usually
Hogan would have. Hogan kept the belt.
yeah.
I
So
assume.
yeah, he was the first.
Hogan kept the belt against Bundy.
And the sad part is all everyone talked about was the Rock and Cena, and not
Yep.
the Miz.
Yeah.
Yep. So I threw one in because I had one that I wanted to make an opponent that John Cena has battled for years. So it is Kurt Angle versus the fans. Don't fucking snicker
What
at
the
me.
hell?
That's one of John Cena's greatest opponents. Think about it. The fans.
Actually, we
Yeah.
should say not all fans. Fans like us.
Male fans
And
over.
You say male
kids
fans
and women
mostly.
loved him.
Cena Sucks was always louder than Let's Go Cena.
That's because Cena, Let's Go Cena was kids.
And females.
And women.
And the women only liked to look at him. They didn't really care how he wrestled.
Well, I made them one of his biggest opponents
Well, they probably are.
versus Kurt Angle, though, which was his first opponent on.
They tangled later then too.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, it's the first name. It's the first thing that people think of when you think of John Cena's debut, Kurt Angle.
You know what? I'm gonna have to go with the fans.
I'll take the fans.
Yeah.
All right, I say it too,
Although there wasn't any boos on Raw, you got a lot of cheers. It was
and that's why I said if he is.
But again, much to
thing.
Justin's point, he's been gone for a while.
and I think they just you have to respect the fact that he stayed loyal.
Nope, that's not good. That tastes bad. Okay, sorry.
This is the We Like Wrestling but Not That Beer podcast.
I think
it's got a Keystone thing on it, so I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, I tried to rep Pennsylvania beers, but man,
well, I think he got a lot of cheers too because with his movie career, you got to see that side of Cena that you wanted to see in wrestling, but he wouldn't do. Like kind of the heelish, like with this Peacemaker thing, you know, like
I really like. Well, I've never seen that.
stuff
I
he's
really like
saying
one
and doing.
John
Yeah.
Cena. Okay, no, sorry. 2 John Cena movie appearances. Do you know which ones they are?
Is it the one with where he's like in bed
Trainwreck?
with
Trainwreck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trainwreck is good.
Trainwreck is the first one. That is really fucking good. He drops Coco Beware, who will be at Legends of Hamburg on July 23rd.
And he just sort of plays.
That was good. Come on. That was a cheap pop plug. Come on. That was good. But no. So,
Bumblebee.
what the fuck is that?
Transformers.
Transformers movie. He was a villain in that.
I have no idea. Oh yeah, he was a villain in
Fast
Blockers.
I've never seen him.
Fast 9.
What's
Blockers.
that? What was that?
Blockers.
What the fuck is Blockers?
Oh, that's a good
It's
movie.
it's an adult
That's a
comedy.
good movie too.
no, he
Ready-
plays
Ready
a
to Rumble?
fucking. He plays a drug dealer in
Oh.
Sisters.
That's right. Yeah, it's all tatted up.
I didn't see that one. So.
Hilarious.
He's got the hat.
Hat,
It's like
yeah.
the whole like.
I actually enjoyed Maureen.
Oh, Daddy's Home. Him and Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, he's in that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny because he in
In Trainwreck, he's like, I look like I ate Mark Wahlberg.
Wahlberg.
I also enjoyed Legendary.
Was that before or after? Like, was he in Daddy's Home before or after Trainwreck?
I believe that was after. I
So
could be wrong.
Wahlberg reference without actually.
Haven't worked with him.
Yeah. Okay.
Trainwreck was funny when
Okay.
he's like talk dirty to me. He's like talk about that other guy at the
Yeah.
gym or something.
He's like, you find me outside, I'll be the closest one on Grinder. That's gay.
So
Yeah.
they're both 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what is
So
he
you
like?
kinda
He's
met
like, I will blow you.
Yeah.
I will blow you. Like, wait, that's gay. You don't see.
Next rival, Orton and Edge.
Ah, crap.
That's a tough one. One of those have to be out in the
I'm
first
gonna
round.
go with Edge.
I'm taking Orton.
I've got to say Orton.
Him and Orton feuded for like 2 years.
But-
But
still
it got
happening.
it got boring.
It could still happen at SummerSlam. Don't put it past them.
I enjoyed Edge.
I did too.
I'm gonna go with Edge.
Elevated with Cena.
That's true. Orton was already. They were both the top
But
face,
he's a-
top heel.
If that cash in happens on anyone else but Cena, does it matter? That first one
Taker.
that Edge did.
Taker. Although Punk,
But Taker wasn't in that chamber. Who was
Yeah.
it? That was like Chris Masters, Carlito.
Yeah, Cena was the only one that won that.
Well,
Yeah.
there goes what you need to talk about right there. Was there anybody else that could be a top heel at that point when John Cena ends the Elimination Chamber with
Carlito,
and Chris Masters.
who were mid cards at best. And that was
nothing
Kurt
against
Angle,
them, nothing
Shawn.
against either of them, but at that point, those were not the guys.
Yeah. But I mean, like if say Carlito wins it all and Edge cashes in on him, no one cares. Him cashing in on Cena is what made him.
I gotta stick to Orton.
I'm saying
I'm
Edge.
saying Orton.
It's a 50-50.
Oh, but then you think about like Edge. You said about the chamber when he attacked Kofi to get into the chamber that he won. But won that to go to WrestleMania, or did he
Okay.
win the belt that night?
Here's what's gonna make my decision. I just thought about it. At SummerSlam, they say John Cena is gonna have one last match, and they go, "Is it gonna be against Edge or Orton?" At this point, I'd probably say Edge. So I'm gonna actually change my vote to Edge because I've seen it with Orton enough.
Yeah.
This would be a nice culmination. Technically, A&E says that Edge is his greatest rival. So I will actually switch to Edge because if it happened right now, if we had to say John Cena has one last match and it's going to happen against Orton or Edge, I'm going to be wanting Edge.
I would go with Edge too. Yeah,
I like both guys.
And
Cena
I like
saved-
both guys too.
Cena saved Orton. He would have been.
All right, the only
Fired.
dead guy on the list. What? Huh? I don't. It's weird that he's on this list, but it's kind of ironic how he
Umaga.
got paired. Umaga versus The Rock.
Aren't they cousins?
Yeah,
Aren't they all?
that's why I said it's ironic that they got paired.
I don't
together.
enjoy any
It's
of
actually
those.
there's a lot of ironic pairings. Almost all of them are. I mean,
I don't like that match.
which one?
That one, Umaga and Rock.
Oh,
I'd say The Rock.
it's got to be Rock, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's gotta be
Umaga. It was a
Rock.
good match. Again, that's another guy we didn't talk about elevating.
He ended Umaga's undefeated streak.
Yeah, but I think it kind of elevated Umaga. I can work and do a good match. Didn't he have to like choke him out with the like he took
With the ring rope, yeah.
yeah, and he had to choke him with the
Yeah.
ring rope to get him to quit.
Umaga should have been.
Yeah, he like nothing would sort of finish him off.
Yeah.
But that fed into
But
the
it's Rock. I mean, once in a
Yeah,
lifetime,
you got to go with Rock.
15 times in a lifetime, whatever.
that fed into the Super Cena. He never
Yeah.
loses. He buries everybody
Never give up.
with the golden shovel.
But much like I said earlier with Punk, because on the mic, even though they didn't touch, you still were engaged every week, even just with the war of words, so to speak.
Oh yeah,
Fruity Pebble, bitch.
Cena, I don't know, man. I actually took Cena's side on that one because fucking Rock writing his promos on his fucking hand or whatever.
Yeah, but again, though, like going back and forth, like they calling each other out on shit. You know what I mean?
What
What's
in
that?
the hell
What?
is a Dolph Ziggler?
All right, well, we got a great matchup: Rollins and Punk.
Oh God, I'd pay for that. We probably have seen that.
As Shield.
I'm going Punk.
Yeah, not Seth now. This was like a
Not because I'm a Punk fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Punk.
And more memorable.
Stop saying rivalry. These are memorable opponents or iconic opponents. They are not rivalries.
But again,
Because I don't think
remember
Punk was
him
a
and Seth.
rivalry. Punk said in the pipe bomb, "I don't hate you.
that's what you stand
It's,
for.
I hate what you represent."
Yes.
I just don't remember.
Punk
Seth
to
and
this
Cena.
day doesn't hate John Cena. He taught in his shoot interview with Colt Cabana, which we can't talk about legally. He says he texts Cena at that point, was still texting Cena daily.
He hates the fact that he spilled his Diet Coke. God damn it!
That's true. That is what started the entire rivalry, is spilling his Diet Coke. And I remember that because I was like, man, if Punk doesn't wrestle anymore and just stays on commentary, this is really good. I'm actually okay with this.
That was Punk was against the establishment, and Cena was represented everything that WWE was. That
Yeah,
Punk was
right.
not.
Punk was now the new leader of Nexus.
But he was like the new guard, and
Yeah.
Cena was the old. We're trying to get past this.
I just don't remember Seth and Cena.
Yeah, I'll take Punk.
You really don't remember Seth and Cena?
No.
You don't remember the fucking knee that broke his
Broke
nose?
his nose.
No.
Okay. You don't remember the Survivor Series match where if Cena lost, everybody but Cena lost their job?
No.
Wow. You don't.
I don't think I was watching during that.
That was a. Yeah, who was on his team that
It
year?
was Dolph, Big Show, but Big Show defected.
So was that one of the
he
20
turned
times
on
that Big Show got fired?
Ryback, and I don't know, fucking Bret
Oh,
Hart.
Luke Harper, I think it was.
Maybe.
No,
Yeah.
it was
No,
Eric
I think
Rowan.
Luke Harper was.
Yeah, it
maybe
was
I don't
Rowan.
know. Yeah,
Yeah, Mark
Harper was on
Henry.
the other side.
What a
yeah.
weird team. Nobody didn't win.
Yeah.
Is that when Big Show got fired for the 20th time?
And turned.
He turned. Yeah.
For the 20th time.
Yeah, he punched Cena, and then he went over to like Triple H.
HBK and JBL. Both backstage assholes at a point.
I'm gonna say
Ever since Sean's eye has gone a little left, he's been all right.
He's been all right.
Ask Mauro Analo what he thinks about JBL. Or who was that guy?
No, not Mara.
Who was it then?
It was
No, it was Morrow.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It was Joey Styles punched him.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's
who's the
what you're
guy that he
talking about.
bullied that he
Mauro
quit?
Oh, he
Ranallo.
did.
He
Yeah.
bullied him so much he quit. He's like, I'm done with this shit. I don't need this.
No, but well, he should have been more like Joey Styles and just punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Or Blue Meanie.
Who do you think he was going for? Yeah.
Well, no, he beat the fuck out of me. Blue Meanie. Blue Meanie didn't punch him in the face.
Blue
didn't
Meanie got
stand up.
punched in the face.
Yeah, Blue Meanie got fucked up. No, Joey Styles out of ECW, who was going to be the most hardcore? Fucking Joey Styles.
I miss him.
It's fucking
Knock
awesome.
JBL out.
I'm gonna go with JBL.
I'm going JBL.
I'll take HBK.
I
His greatest opponent.
It is.
Him and Sean went 60 minutes on a
Did go
Raw.
60 minutes.
Yeah, but they only wrestled like a couple times. Like him and JBL was dragged out for
It is, but
half a year or more.
it was a good match.
Him and HBK was like what, 3 matches or something like that. It wasn't very long.
Yeah, they were like rivals who became tag champs, and then they were rivals.
It was Sean's end where he was putting in as much effort to every match that he could.
Because he knew he didn't have many left.
Okay, so let's go. HBK starts with an H, so heads. And it is
Heads.
HBK.
I say JBL.
I understand.
I'm good with either or, but you know,
Examples
hey, if the
Yeah.
flip
I get it.
says HBK, that's good.
We've got Miz versus the fans.
Which is an actual rivalry.
No, I think the fans have come around on Miz, which that's
Again,
one.
he's been there a long time. He's
Was
gotten better.
Miz one of the people who shook John Cena's hand or whatever during that thing?
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that one.
That's why everyone was all the heels like were marking
You
out.
said Ziggler, and I'm okay with Ziggler. But Miz has no reason to respect John Cena because all of his interactions have been against John Cena. Ziggler has been on his side. He could see the friendship. But Miz should hate John Cena because he took away from Miz what Miz should have been. He obviously, I'm booking here, but
Like,
So-
Seth didn't shake his hand. Seth cut a
and
promo.
with what you just said right there, you sold me on going with the fans.
I'm going with the Miz.
Oh, man.
Although
But the fans
Miz-
haven't, at least us male fans, haven't changed our position on Cena.
I don't
have-
know.
I
I
have,
like
though.
him more now.
I was thinking about watching it. I thought about it. Look, all right.
I didn't watch it. But
I have watched like 5 minutes of WWE programming in the last 6 months. And those 5 minutes was
30 seconds, Vince.
Vince. And me waiting through the commercial, and then he doesn't come back out, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm not fucking watching this shit.
Even Vince doesn't watch it. He went home.
But
and I
even-
watched this shit.
even when Miz was WWE champion, that little girl that you always see making that pouty face,
Oh, Miz girl. Yeah, don't say
Yeah.
that. Miz girl.
Miz girl, yes,
You remember that?
Miz Girl.
I gotta say Miz, actually. Okay.
Miz, yeah.
I have, because I am a fan and I did hate Cena, and I actually was intrigued with him coming back.
I like A-Rod too, but
That was
Who fell out of the Rumble by accident.
So what do we have? Do we have 50-50? Who's saying Miz? Who's saying fans? Joe says fans.
I was going to say fans, and then you guys talked me into the Miz. So
Okay, that's okay. That's what this is all about.
twisted my arm.
This is all about discussion. Edge and Rock.
Edge.
Wow, that was
Think about that.
why?
I'm going to go Edge.
Because I'm torn. Sell me.
The Rock was just hype, I feel like.
All right, well, who fucking cares about hype?
Remember, this is the opponent.
It was once in a lifetime, and then it went to twice in a lifetime.
It did. That is true.
That's because it made a shit ton of money. That was like the most bought Mania in like 10 years.
But
Rock-
if you're gonna go with once in a lifetime, it has to be once in a
I
lifetime.
get Rock and Hogan was once, and that was great.
Yeah,
They didn't beat
Sure.
that into the ground.
yeah.
It's true.
Like I liked when Nexus attacked Raw, the end of Raw, and they destroyed the place and beat everyone up. And Brian got fired for choking a dude.
Just
That was-
Justin Roberts.
Remember
Who now
that
has to
was.
say his name.
I remember the next day everyone was talking about like, holy shit, you see what happened? And then they did it every week, and it was like,
Retribution.
Yeah,
Same thing happened as
yeah,
with
it's a,
Retribution.
yeah.
I'm going with Edge because of the way like they kind of started their rivalry. At ECW One Night Stand, Edge shows up dressed
Oh, the big spear with
in the
fucking
trench
helmet.
coat and helmet,
Yeah.
spears Cena,
Yeah.
and reveals himself to.
I like
you know,
that. Like,
with
once
Cena
the-
and The Rock, like it was like came out and I was like kind of like almost
It was 2 matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it was-
and they kind of like you
Yeah.
know he came out and like I'm going to challenge you, you know what I mean? Like did it honorably, you know, like now. So
I like that Edge and Cena sort of would feud and go away and then come back later. Like you said, like to this day, they could start a feud tomorrow and it would still be good.
All right.
Like him and
Yeah.
the Miz, like it's been
Yeah. I say Edge.
off and on.
Yeah.
Then him and Rock, once that was done, it was done.
Second time. Punk and Shawn Michaels, the greatest of their generations.
Punk.
I think Punk's match did a lot more for Punk, whereas
Sean's
Shawn's match did a lot more for Cena.
Yeah.
So what's better? Getting someone else over is better than getting yourself over, right?
Yeah.
Cena didn't need that match with Hunter.
With Sean.
With Shawn.
I would go with Punk.
I feel like that Sean match was just kind of
I think without
thrown there.
without the John Cena versus Shawn Michaels match, Shawn's legacy doesn't.
Doesn't change it. Still
Yeah.
great.
John Cena and Punk's match at Money in the Bank made Punk's legacy that much.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay,
And that's
I say Punk.
that's a mark of a great wrestler. You know, like Ric Flair, you know, a lot of people say just having been in the ring,
Yeah,
you get that rub of having wrestled Ric Flair, you're made.
yeah.
You don't
Barry Windham. What other Barry Windham great Barry Windham match did he have? exactly.
Him as a stalker at Survivor Series.
Don't fucking say Starcade with Hogan because that is shit. That match is terrible.
Oh, him and Jeff Hardy, TNA.
Ric Flair,
him and Darby versus was that
one of Eddie Guerrero's greatest matches is against Ric Flair. It's at a Clash of Champions, I believe. It's a really fucking good match. It's when he's still babyface wearing the fucking what was his team with
the mullet?
Yeah, he's got the mullet.
Long hair, yeah.
Did he ever not have the mullet?
That's true.
It's what was there? He was still wearing the American getup. You know what I mean? He wore it with art.
Well, him and Flair had a good match on Nitro.
Was it on Nitro? Maybe it was Nitro. Okay, I thought it was Clash of Champions, but maybe it was Nitro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie had hurt his knee. He went up for the frog splash, missed it, and then that's what he got put into figure 4.
What are the choices again?
We already picked. It's Punk.
Oh, okay.
Miz and Edge.
Oh.
Both elevated that person's fame. I shouldn't say career.
Did it though?
For who?
I would say Edge.
I feel
because
like
Edge stayed more of a main event player.
Yeah, but Miz
went back down.
I was in the feud with The Rock and Cena. Same thing that Jericho got to say.
He got to say, "I walked out of Mania the champ.
Beat John Cena at WrestleMania as the champion."
What other match between the two do you remember?
Came to play. There's a prize. That tag team match where R-Truth smokes.
Him and Edge were just.
I'll take Edge. Edge.
Okay, then it's Edge and Punk.
Can we have a tie?
I've got. Which one did he elevate more?
I'm going with Edge.
Oh man, it's tough to say that without Cena, Edge would probably still be where he is.
Yeah.
But without Cena, I don't know if Punk. I mean, he probably would have got let go very fast after that. Without that pipe bomb, where was Punk at? Oh, where was Edge at? I mean,
we just said him. He was doing nothing. Him and Christian split up.
He was doing nothing.
Punk still would have been WWE champion.
Oh man.
Because he didn't beat Cena for the belt. I don't remember.
Who?
Punk.
What do you mean? He beat him at
when he cashed in.
What? Punk cashed in on like Del Rio.
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jeff Hardy.
And he won 2 of them.
Yeah. That was the heel
Jeff
turn.
Hardy.
Because he was a face and he cashed in on another face.
I'm also going with Edge because injury took years away from his career. Punk chose to walk away.
Ooh, that's
whereas Edge would have stayed. You know what I mean? So I'm going with Edge.
Yeah, Edge's career would have turned out without the injury.
That is a very good
point. Whereas Punk walked away. He took his ball and went home.
All right, Edge. You got
Edge.
it. You fucking made a really good point.
So we agree with A&E.
All right, we fucking do agree with A&E.
Edge is
God damn it.
John Cena's greatest.
I would have said Orton.
But our reason is probably better than their reason.
If you would have just asked me without a tournament,
if you'd say who's John Cena's greatest opponent, it's Orton.
I'd say Edge. Orton was overplayed. All right. So 20 years. Not many people make it that long.
He lasted longer than WCW.
Everybody on that list?
Everybody on that
Except
list.
for Orton.
Orton's at 20 years.
He lived longer than Umaga.
Oh gosh.
What? It's long enough. Jesus.
I think RVD's coming up on 30 years.
He's dying.
30 years for him, right? Probably.
I don't know.
See, but what I kind of don't agree with. They were saying on that thing like that Cena is arguably the greatest WWE talent ever and all that.
Ooh, that's a discussion.
But for me, I would have to say Orton because Orton, he's injured right now, but his career is still going. Cena is, for lack of better term, he's done. He's like one of those part-timers come in, match or two. Orton's
we put
every
him
night
over
guy.
already on an episode. No, I agree. I don't. It's hard to say who's a great talent. It's like saying, okay, is Hogan better than Macho Man? No, they're both great. They're both giant talents. You know what's funny? I'm in a group of people who are not wrestling fans, and they said it's a group of people, and they said plug your pluggables. So whatever you have, if you have a podcast, if you have a store, if you have an OnlyFans, fucking plug it. Here's your post to do that. And I plugged the podcast. And someone responded with an Iron Sheik meme. I think Iron Sheik is bigger than I knew. Which no Hogan, Austin, Cena.
Not The Rock.
We got a fucking Iron Sheik.
But he's popular.
He's very big on Twitter
because of what he does, the weird shit he says.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan and the fucking what's the Jim Brunzell, is that who he hates? No, Brian Blair.
I break his back, fuck his ass, make him humble.
I will humble you.
Bring Iron Sheik to Legends of Handbook.
I will humble you.
It's hard. That you'll never be able to say who's the biggest star of all time. It's all generational.
But Cena's on a Mount Rushmore.
In a time where it was about kids and getting kids into the product, John Cena was perfect. Put out a new color shirt every week, and the kids will buy it.
It depends on era.
It was about 18 to 30 males, and a fuck you to who doesn't want to say fuck you to their boss and spit beer in their face or whatever, You
need an edge. Yeah.
Yeah. So when it was the 80s and it was eat your vitamins and say your prayers and fucking everybody Wang Chung tonight, it's fucking
it was Hogan.
Hogan.
I think the Mount Rushmore for different eras would be Hogan. In the 90s, probably.
You're leaving Bruno out. Bruno has to come before Hogan.
Bruno, Hogan, Austin, Cena.
I'd say Bruno, Hogan, Cena.
Austin.
Yeah,
it's gotta be.
The 90s.
It's gotta be.
It's Bruno, Hogan, Austin, Cena.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And right now, we don't have one yet.
Maybe Seth.
Maybe, but we'll see.
Roman.
It takes time to look back and say that was that.
And
it's like NFL. There's not like.
That part, Taker's not even on there.
Derek Carr is the greatest.
Oh, God. There's a current, Joe Montana will be the best in his time. Tom Brady will be the best. And, it's.
I was going to say, Tom Brady is way better than Joe Montana.
But it depends on the era. But 20 years.
Jerry Rice is the greatest receiver of all time. What are you going to say,
Chris
Calvin
Carter?
Johnson? Who the fuck is Chris Carter?
Moss. He invented Moss before Randy Moss did.
All he does is catch touchdowns.
Yeah.
I know Vince Carter, who created the fucking windmill dunk.
Yeah.
So 20 years for Cena, man.
Caster and Ass Boys, Danhausen.
I remember when I was a kid, I was listening to Cena's CD.
Oh, I'm sorry. Word life.
Yeah.
This is basic thugonomics. Whether fighting or spitting, my discipline is unforgiven.
Mm-hmm.
Got you backing up like a defensive position. An ass kicking anthem. Heavyweight.
We might get copyright.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But man, 20 years.
Is he allowed to do that? Are we in trouble
actually,
for that?
Joe, we might get copyrighted for that. Please take that off of your screen.
I think you're only allowed 7 seconds or something.
Although it's part of the screen. I don't know.
So
and we're not charging.
Danhausen and FTR.
What? Danhausen and FTR.
What a weird.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, Dax did separate his shoulder, by the way.
Yeah.
They popped it back in and he got back out.
So in recent news, another member of Dark Order is about to be gone from AEW.
Possibly, yes.
His contract is
6?
expiring. Number 5.
5. Yeah.
Alan Angels.
Yeah.
The good-looking one can wrestle.
That's John Silver. He's the good-looking one.
How is it there's a 10 and a 5, and an Uno, but we don't have any other numbers?
No, there was.
Silver's 1.
Silver, yeah. No,
well, even Uno
is 1, and Grayson would be 2.
And Silver's
Reynolds,
3?
Reynolds is something.
They never identify him that way.
Yeah. Reynolds, I think, is 4, so Silver's probably 3.
See, I thought he said in BTE the number 1 John Silver.
Well, he called himself number 1.
But yeah, no, Uno would be 1.
And then, so then from 5 to 10, where's all those guys?
Yeah, I don't know.
And Anna J, is she a number?
Maybe.
Cole Cabana.
99.
Yeah, maybe.
And what was
69?
What was Brody Lee?
I don't fucking know. You're asking too. It's stop trying to apply logic to an illogical situation. God damn it! What have you learned?
What was I thinking?
So, we will be at CCW this Friday, July 1st in Lebanon, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but that's the day this comes out. So if you're listening to it, fucking hurry up.
We're already there.
I hope you get this out. I hope you get this edited and out early so that people can hear this and come to it.
Also, Legends of Hamburg, July 23rd, announced this week was
Colby Carino, the son of the guy that got me to the wrestling school that I went to.
And Doc Gallows.
I Twitter messaged Steve Carino, asked him about wrestling schools, and he sent me to the one that I went to, the Dungeon Wrestling School at in Blandon, Pennsylvania.
And Doc Gallows will be there.
Yes.
I didn't even know Steve Carino was a local guy.
Yeah. I've told the story before.
Yeah. But okay. I mean, just because you recommend a place doesn't mean you're from that place.
Yeah, no, he was there. He trained there.
Yeah. We're bringing in the
Acclaimed. Tell me stories about, we remember Colby when he was just a little tiny baby, and now he's a fucking full-grown man who wrestles.
We're bringing in the Acclaimed.
Makes them feel old.
Also, Dark Order will be there. Booker T, Mr. Anderson, Dangerous Danny Davis, Demolition, Headbangers,
Paul Roma, Ronnie Garvin, Tommy Rich,
Buffalo.
So many more to be announced yet too. But July 23rd, Legends of Hamburg convention in Hamburg, Pennsylvania, at the Hamburg Fieldhouse, and then later that night is Outbreak Wrestling. Please,
and that Friday is Quarantine with Mil Muertes.
You do not want to miss this weekend of wrestling. It's going to be great. Until then, we'll see you next week.
Later.